Hi guys, and welcome to another little benchmark of my MacBook Pro. This is going to be a bit different to normal because I'm going to put a little bit of advice in at the end and a little bit of shout outs if that's okay with you. Okay, so I'm just going to test out the SSD opening times. I've already done this in my full review pretty much. However, I thought I'd show you while I'm recording on screen capture using QuickTime, and also a little bit of advice about RAM. This is the amount of RAM that's being used at the moment. I'm doing screen capturing, so it's obviously using a bit more than normal. So we're just under half, and I have 4 gigabytes installed. Most people seem to think that 8 gigabytes is required nowadays for whatever they do. Okay, so I use my computer quite a lot, and I usually use my desktop computer, which is actually a PC. But this is definitely something that's this performs nearly as good as it, and I bought it as a gaming computer about 3 or 4 years ago. Anyway, it's just about caught up in laptop speeds to my gaming computer, and with the SSD it definitely loads things much faster. Okay, so I'm going to open up pretty much everything down here, Outlook and whatever, straight away. And also I've got Office in this pile here. I'm going to open most of these and a few of these, which is the Design Premium Suite from Adobe CS 5.5. Photoshop's running CS 5.1 as long as Illustrator is as well, because that's the latest model. Anyway, let's have a go. Quickly open everything up here. I'm going to leave out a couple of things, but as you can see, everything opens up pretty much instantly. These really large applications such as Photoshop, they open up a little slower. Well, that's obvious really. The fans just started to kick in right now. And there we go, we have pretty much everything opened up. I think the only thing that's actually opening now is Flash Professional. Sorry if the fans disturbing everyone. But as you can see, the activity monitor shows that there's about 1/8 of the memory left, which is fine for me. I use Illustrator with Photoshop and Dreamweaver all of the time, along with Word and iTunes, Twitter, Skype, and Outlook. They're pretty much always open, as I'm usually designing sort of web designs at the moment. So there is 500 megabytes free. So will that allow me to create a decent Photoshop file? Well, yes, it will. If I create a new Photoshop file, say for film and video, and if I make a 4K, then should I double? I'll more than double the file size. I'll make it 16,000 pixels by 9,000 to make a 400 megabyte file, and I can edit on that just fine right now with everything open. There's nothing really to edit onto. It's going to lag around a bit as soon as I start out. I'm trying to use quick selection tool, I've just noticed, which isn't going to be working very well because I've not got anything to select mostly. There we go, it is working just fine now, should be anyway. Text tool, type that in there, yep, that has gone in, it's just such a massive file. And along with my activity monitor, yeah, there's 100 megabytes still free, so I can obviously make a new site, or a new Flash file, or a new Illustrator file just fine. Yeah, that is 4K files, and that leaves me with 35 megabytes free, but it's not all as simple as that. If I go over, it seems to free up RAM from other applications by itself. And don't forget that I'm recording with QuickTime right now, this screen capture and my voice, and I'm also using every app in the book. So I mean, if you want to go and buy 8 gigabytes of RAM, you're welcome. I actually found out today, a little bit of advice now, 1600 megahertz is supported on the 2.2 gigahertz model, the 2.0 gigahertz model 15-inch, and the 13-inch MacBook Pros Sandy Bridge early 2011 models aren't supported, but you can get 1600 megahertz RAM in this and it will be supported fine, and it also supports 16 gigabytes of RAM. That's the 2.2 and 2.3 gigahertz models, along with the 17-inch MacBook Pro. as long as you get two 8GB sticks, which are very expensive. Well, they're more expensive than the computer itself. They're about $1,500 for 16GB of RAM right now with two 8GB sticks. So if you want to go ahead and get 16GB of RAM and then pay double for your laptop, that's fine. But I'm quite happy with 4GB right now. This is also going to be a video response to Geek Tech Mac 1, I think it is. I'm not sure exactly, but I'll put a link in the description, and it's also going to be a video response, so you're going to be able to find his video right there, which is a video of him starting up a few applications too on his hard drive 15-inch MacBook Pro. Okay, thanks everyone for watching, and thanks for bearing with me while I'm doing all my exams. I've got an exam Tuesday, Thursday, and next week on Monday, so that's when I'm finished. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope it's been useful to at least some of you. Right, thank you, bye.